Okay, today we're going to work on our exercise of creating a city with three symbols. We're going to have grass, house, and a tree. You can see that I built these in my library. And if you looked at the video on how to create a symbol using insert, new symbol, then you'll know how to do that. And these three have shown up, as you can see, in my library. Ain't that cool? So, I've already started. I have a background layer, and then I made another layer, which I'm going to do hill. Okay? So on hill, I'm going to click right there. I'm going to use my pencil tool, and we're going to create a little hill there. And I'm just going to make sure it's all good. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of brown into it. Good, now I have a hill. Notice it's outside of the stage a little bit. That doesn't matter when you make a movie. So now I'm going to begin to drag symbols on top of it. So let's start with my buildings. Notice I'm created a new layer with this little button. Pops up here. I named it by clicking into the layer. And then I changed the name of it, Doi. I'm going to click on frame 1. I'm going to lock this frame. And then I'm going to start to drag houses. Grab here, pull, and drop. Cool. And I'm going to move it here. I'm going to take my transform tool, which is here, and I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to hit shift on my keyboard and pull a corner to make some houses. And then I'm going to do that again. I'm going to put these in the background. I'm going to do this. Shift, pull, gets larger. And then these also in the background. Now, this is important. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the color of these little buildings. I have one symbol. Each symbol has two little houses in it. But I want to change it. Each one of these is called an instance of a symbol. If I click, I go here to the properties box, hit the color effect, and I'm going to do tint. And I'm going to change the tint to this. And you play around a little bit. It's kind of fun. This, I'm going to expand a little bit here. Change the brightness. I want this. I want to change the brightness in here. Good. I'm going to change the tint here. Click this. A little bit of blue. Okay. Now I have a bunch of buildings. Now I'm going to drag and make a tree. Same thing. So I'm just literally, I've already created these assets, and now I'm just going to place them where I want them. Okay, I'm not gonna, you can get as artful as you want with this whole thing. Good. Now I have a little bit of a little forest going. I want some little bit of grass. Good. And I'm going to take my eraser tool here. Okay, let's say I want to erase some of this stuff. Grass. Okay. I'm going to click on the grass and I'm going to hit Control B as in boy. And that breaks this symbol up so that I can manipulate it. Control B. Come on, baby. Come on. There it goes. All right. So, cool. I'm going to take my eraser tool and I'm just going to erase some of this grass here. Okay, if I weren't doing this for you, I'd get a little more precise, but this will do for right now. And then I'm going to grab a cloud. And I'm going to drag that into my sky. Hit the Q key, change it. Another cloud. I'm going to rotate this. Hit my Q key. Change that. I'm going to put that on top of it. I'm going to click it. I'm going to go into my properties box. I'm going to change the tint. And there I have three symbols, basically. Cloud, trees, buildings, to create a city. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create our first little piece of animation, which is the sun rising. And this will be the sun. Now I want the sun to be in between the background and the hill so that it can rise up over this. Sun, so I'm going to just drag it right back here. And I'm going to create a little sun. Okay. Cool. And now I'm going to make this sun, I'm going to turn it into a symbol a little differently than we did the last time. I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to hit my F8 key, F8, Frank 8 key, and my little palette comes up, and I'm going to turn this into a graphic symbol. Cool. And now I'm going to extend my timeline. I'm going to do that by just clicking into it, 25, and dragging down below. You see it highlights it beautifully. And I'm going to hit my F5 key. And that extends that timeline. F5 key. So I click into this, hit the F5 key, and extends every single one of these layers on the timeline. Now I'm ready to do a bit of animation. I'm going to lock everything but the sun, which is a symbol. Come on, baby. Cloud. Sorry, sun. There we go. And I'm going to pick position 1, which is down there. And I want to pick position 2. So I'm going to add a keyframe. Insert, timeline, keyframe. Or I'm going to hit the F6 key. And we'll do a lot more next week on this. F6. This creates position 1 and position 2. So position 2, I'm just going to drag the sun up here. I'm going to then click into this layer, right click, and hit create a classic tween. And there's my animation. Yay! Now I'm going to hit Control Enter, and you'll see I've made a movie. Okay? That sun's a little fast. I can adjust that in any way I want, but I built a city with 3 different symbols and have a short animation with the sun. Okay, have fun. I want you to give me these in a SWF form, SWF, File, Export, Export Movie. And then you just, I'm going to go to my desktop, City Symbols, save. And that did it. Okay, have fun. Create a city with 3 symbols and a little sun coming up. And there are other, lots of tutorials, as you can tell, with on creating a classic tween. That's what we did, a classic tween.